The first thing people noticed about Mama Amoka was her hands. They were rough. Darkened by years of working under the hot Nigerian sun, they carried tiny scars from farm tools, thorny bushes, and countless days of hard work. But whenever those hands touched her daughter's face, they became gentle. Mama Amoka was a widow. Her husband had died when Amoka was only 6 years old, leaving behind a small mud house, a little farmland, and 3 children. Unfortunately, Amoka's 2 older brothers died when they were still young. So Mama Amoka became everything. Mother, father, provider, teacher, and protector. She survived by farming. Behind their little house was a modest farm where she grew cassava, yam, maize and vegetables. She also raised chickens and goats. Her goats were her little treasure. Whenever she sold one, she used the money to pay school fees, buy food, or settle one problem or another. But there was one goat she never wanted to sell. It was a huge white and brown male goat with beautiful carved horns. Mama Amoka called him Obi. "Why do you keep that goat?" her neighbor once asked. Mama Amoka smiled. "That one is for Amoka." "For Amoka?" "Yes." She looked at the goat lovingly. "When my daughter graduates from university, I will give her Obi as a gift." The neighbor laughed. "Who gives someone a goat as a graduation present?" Mama Amoka shrugged. "A mother who doesn't have money." Then she smiled. "My daughter may not understand the value now, but one day she will." Amoka was a brilliant girl. Despite their poverty, she always came first in class. She studied under a kerosene lamp. She walked long distances to school. Sometimes she went to school without breakfast. Whenever she complained, Mama Amoka would encourage her. "Don't worry, my daughter. One day you will wear fine clothes and sit in a big office." "Really, Mama?" "Yes. And you will come and visit me." Mama laughed. "I will come and visit you every Sunday." Amoka would laugh. "I will buy you a big house." Mama Amoka would shake her head. "I don't need a big house." "What do you need?" "I only need you to remember me when you become successful." Amoka hugged her. "I will never forget you." Those words meant everything to Mama Amoka. Years later, Amoka gained admission into university. Mama Amoka nearly fainted from excitement. She danced around the compound. "My daughter is going to university." She sold 2 goats. Then 3 chickens. Then some bags of cassava. She borrowed money from a cooperative. She even sold part of her farmland. Anything to ensure Amoka had enough money to start school. The morning Amoka left for university, Mama Amoka packed her belongings into an old traveling bag. Before Amoka entered the bus, her mother held her hands. "Remember where you came from?" Amoka smiled. "I know, Mama. Don't allow big clothes and big people to make you forget your mother." "I won't." Mama Amoka hugged her. Then whispered, "Make me proud." "I will." The bus drove away. Mama Amoka stood by the roadside waving until it disappeared. Then she wiped her tears. "My daughter will become somebody." She had no idea that university would change that daughter. At first, Amoka was humble. She called her mother every evening. "Mama, have you eaten?" "Yes." "How are the goats?" "They are fine." "How is Obi?" "Obi is becoming very big." They would laugh. But slowly, things changed. Amoka met girls from wealthy families. Girls who wore expensive clothes. Girls who carried expensive phones. Girls who spent money without thinking. They introduced her to a completely different lifestyle. At first, Amoka felt uncomfortable. Then she became fascinated. She began borrowing clothes. Then handbags. Then shoes. Soon, she started pretending. When someone asked where she came from, she stopped saying she was from a small village. Instead, she said, "I'm from Owerri." If someone asked about her parents, she would smile. "My dad is a businessman." It was a lie. Her father had been dead for years. Then she upgraded the lie. "My mother lives in America." Another lie. She began posting pictures in borrowed cars. She took photographs inside expensive restaurants without buying anything. She uploaded them with captions like, "Life is good." Her classmates believed her. Soon, Amoka became known as the rich girl. But there was one problem. Her mother kept calling. "Mama, I'm in class." "Okay." "Mama, I'm busy." "Okay." "Mama, I will call you later." Sometimes she never did. One evening, Mama Amoka called. "My daughter, I wanted to tell you something." "What?" "Obi has grown very big." Amoka sighed. "Mama, please. I'm busy." "I thought you would like to hear." "I don't have time for good stories." Silence. Mama Amoka swallowed. "Okay, my daughter. Good night." "Good night." The call ended. Mama Amoka stared at her phone. Then she looked at Obi. The big goat was chewing leaves peacefully. She smiled sadly. "Your sister is becoming a big woman." As Amoka entered her final year, her lifestyle became even more extravagant. She started dating a wealthy young man named Daniel. Daniel came from a rich family. He drove an expensive car. He wore designer clothes. Amoka wanted him to believe she belonged to his world. So she told him, "My parents are based in America." Daniel nodded. "Which part?" "Texas." She had never been to America. But the lie came easily now. Daniel once asked, "Why don't I ever see your mother? She travels a lot." "Your father? He's busy with business." Every lie made the next lie easier. Soon, even her closest friends believed she was from a wealthy family. Then graduation day was announced. Amoka was overjoyed. She immediately began planning. She wanted the biggest graduation photo shoot. She ordered a beautiful dress. She bought expensive shoes. She booked a luxury hotel for herself and her friends. She told everyone, "My mother is flying in from America for my graduation." The truth. Mama Amoka had no idea what was happening. She was still in the village. But when she heard that her daughter would graduate, she cried tears of joy. "My daughter is graduating." She began preparing. She wanted to surprise Amoka. She slaughtered chickens. She cooked food. She packed some fresh farm produce. And then she looked at Obi. The huge goat was now enormous. Mama Amoka smiled. Today is the day. She tied a beautiful red ribbon around Obi's neck. Then she dressed in her best wrapper and blouse. She carried a small bag. She wasn't ashamed. She was proud. "My daughter will be happy." She hired a vehicle to take her to the university. All the way there, she smiled. "I wonder if she will recognize me immediately." She laughed. She will say, "Mama." She imagined her daughter running into her arms. She imagined taking pictures together. She imagined introducing Obi to everyone. "My daughter, this is your graduation gift." She couldn't wait. The university was filled with excitement. Students wore graduation gowns. Parents took pictures. Friends shouted. Music played. Amoka looked beautiful. She stood among her friends wearing an expensive gown and designer sunglasses. "Amoka." She turned. Her friends screamed. "Congratulations. Graduate. Big girl." Amoka laughed. She felt like she had finally become the person she wanted everyone to believe she was. Then one of her friends said, "Where's your mother?" Amoka smiled confidently. "She'll be here soon." Just then, a vehicle stopped near the entrance. Mama Amoka stepped out. She was wearing her best wrapper. Her feet were in simple sandals. And behind her stood Obi, the enormous goat. Mama Amoka looked around excitedly. Then she spotted Amoka. Her face lit up. "Amoka." She waved. "My daughter." Amoka turned. Her smile disappeared. Her friends looked at her. "Who is that woman?" Mama Amoka happily walked toward them. "Amoka." Amoka's heart began pounding. She looked at the goat. Then at her mother. Then at her friends. One friend whispered, "Is that your mother?" Amoka panicked. "No." Mama Amoka stopped. She didn't hear properly. She smiled. "My daughter, congratulations." She held out her hands. "I brought you something." She pulled Obi forward. "Look. Your graduation gift." Her friends stared. One of them burst into laughter. "A goat." Another laughed. "Wait, she brought you a goat." Amoka's face burned with embarrassment. "Mama." Mama Amoka smiled. "Yes, my daughter. I told you not to come." Mama Amoka's smile faded. "I wanted to surprise you." "You embarrassed me." Everyone became quiet. Mama Amoka looked confused. "Embarrassed you?" Amoka looked around at her friends. Then she made the worst decision of her life. She pointed at Mama Amoka. "I don't know this woman." Silence. Mama Amoka froze. "What?" Amoka repeated. "I said I don't know you." Her friends stared at her. Mama Amoka's lips trembled. "My daughter. Please leave." "But." "Leave." Mama Amoka looked at the goat. Then back at Amoka. "I am your mother." Amoka shook her head. "No, you're not." Mama Amoka's eyes filled with tears. "But I carried you." "Please stop. You don't remember me." Amoka turned away. "I said I don't know you." One of her friends whispered. "Amoka, that's harsh." But Amoka wasn't listening. She was desperate to protect her fake image. Mama Amoka stood there. Her entire world had just collapsed in front of strangers. She slowly untied the rope from Obi. Then she looked at her daughter. "I understand." She wiped her tears. "I am sorry for embarrassing you." She turned around. But before she left, she placed the rope in Amoka's hands. "Take him." Amoka stared at the goat. "Why?" "Because he belongs to you." She smiled sadly. "I promised you this goat when you graduated." Then she walked away. Obi followed her. But Mama Amoka stopped him. "No." She looked back at Amoka. "He is yours." Then she left. Amoka stood frozen. Her friends were silent. One finally asked, "Amoka, was that really your mother?" Amoka didn't answer. Then another friend said, "We need to talk." Suddenly, someone approached them. It was the university's vice-chancellor. He had recognized Mama Amoka. He walked toward Amoka. "Amoka." She turned. "Yes, sir." "Was that your mother?" Amoka couldn't speak. The vice-chancellor looked disappointed. "That woman came to this university many times." Amoka's eyes widened. "What?" He continued. "Whenever your school fees were due, she came to the bursary." Amoka's face changed. "She sold farm produce to pay your fees." Silence. "She once came here carrying a basket of eggs." Amoka's eyes filled with tears. The vice-chancellor continued. Another time, she came with 2 goats. Her friends looked at Amoka. She told us she would sell anything necessary to keep you in school. Amoka's lips trembled. No. Yes. Then one of her lecturers spoke. I remember her. She once waited outside my office for 3 hours because she wanted to plead for you. Amoka covered her mouth. Suddenly, memories came rushing back. The kerosene lamp. Her mother's rough hands. The farm. The chickens. The goats. The old traveling bag. Make me proud. Amoka began crying. She looked toward the road. Mama. She ran. Amoka ran outside the university gate. But Mama Amoka was gone. She called her phone. No answer. Again. No answer. Again. Nothing. She fell onto a bench and cried. I did this. Her friends stood around her. One said quietly, you need to find her. Amoka returned home later that evening. Her luxury apartment suddenly felt empty. She looked at her expensive clothes, her designer bags, her expensive shoes. Everything she had used to create a fake life. None of it mattered. She picked up her phone. She opened her mother's contact. Mama Red Heart. She stared at it for several minutes. Then she called. This time, her mother answered. Hello. Mama. Silence. It's me. I know. Amoka began crying. I'm sorry. Mama Amoka didn't respond. I was ashamed. Of me. Yes. Why? Because I wanted everyone to think I was rich. Her mother sighed. My daughter, I never wanted you to be rich. Amoka cried harder. I wanted you to be proud of me. I was always proud of you. That sentence broke her. The next morning, Amoka returned to the village. She found Mama Amoka in the farm. Her mother was feeding the chickens. Amoka stood at the entrance. Mama. Mama Amoka turned. Their eyes met. Amoka immediately fell to her knees. I'm sorry. Mama Amoka looked at her. You don't have to kneel. I do. You are my daughter. I lied about you. Yes. I denied you. Yes. I embarrassed you. Mama Amoka remained silent. Amoka cried. I was stupid. Her mother walked toward her. Amoka expected anger. Instead, Mama Amoka pulled her into a hug. Amoka cried against her chest like a little girl. I am sorry, Mama. I know. After a while, Amoka noticed Obi standing nearby. She smiled through her tears. Mama. Yes. Where is my graduation gift? Mama Amoka pointed at Obi. There. Amoka laughed through her tears. She walked toward the goat. She touched his head. You came all the way to my graduation. Mama Amoka smiled. Yes. Amoka hugged the goat. I was ashamed of you. Then she looked at her mother. But you were never ashamed of me. Mama Amoka shook her head. Never. That experience changed Amoka completely. She stopped pretending. She deleted her fake social media post. She stopped lying about her family. She began proudly telling people. My mother is a farmer. My mother raised me alone. My mother paid my university fees by selling goats and chickens. My mother is my greatest achievement. But she didn't stop there. She returned to the village and helped her mother expand the farm. She built a proper house for her. She bought modern farming equipment. She started a small agricultural business. And she created a scholarship program for students from poor farming families. Years later, Amoka became successful. Very successful. But whenever people asked her, What is your greatest achievement? She never mentioned her business. She never mentioned her degree. She never mentioned her expensive car. She always answered, making my mother proud. One afternoon, Amoka organized a huge celebration in her mother's honor. Hundreds of people attended. Mama Amoka sat in front wearing a beautiful traditional outfit. Amoka walked onto the stage. She held the microphone. My mother once came to my graduation with a goat. Everyone laughed. Amoka smiled. I was ashamed. The crowd became quiet. I denied knowing her. Mama Amoka's eyes filled with tears. But that goat taught me the greatest lesson of my life. Amoka turned toward her mother. Education gave me a degree. She paused. My mother gave me character. The crowd applauded. Amoka walked toward her mother. Then she knelt. Mama, I was ashamed of the goat. You brought me. She's milk. Today, I want everyone to know that this goat was the most valuable graduation gift I ever received. Mama Amoka laughed through her tears. And then Amoka said, because it reminded me that behind every success I was trying to show the world was a woman who sacrificed everything just to make sure I succeeded. The crowd stood and applauded. Mama Amoka pulled her daughter into her arms. And for the first time, Amoka didn't care who was watching. She proudly held her mother's hand. The same rough hands she once tried to hide. Now, she held them like they were the most precious thing in the world.